Okay, we're back. So we're at the end of this row of double crochets. We're going to do the last few double crochets and show you how to transition up to the next level and where you're going to go in when you're already working on double crochets. Okay. Also, that rug that we were working on, I measured it. It's 32 inches by 18 inches. We're going to get it back out and look at it again and talk about the pattern, and we're also going to show you how to finish this rug. So continue on. So these are still double crochets. We're going to go to the end. Here's your hole here. Let me show you where the last hole is and how we go up. Double crochet. Here's your last hole, right here. So you kind of have to feel for it. Try not to get just that one. See how you can kind of grab that and then it will make it too loopy. Make sure you get two pieces if you can. So you're going to do one more double crochet in that last hole. It's a little bit tight, but we're going to force it. See, if you push it down here, that kind of loosens things up a little bit. I like to do that. Okay, there you get your three, cross over, pull them both off, cross over and pull them both off. You're going to, again, because you're still going to be doing, the next row is still going to be double crochets, you're going to do 3 chain stitches, 1, 2, 3, flip your work. Okay, I'm going to show you how you're going to continue on. I've been liking to do it like this. Okay. Where you're going to go in, you're not going to go in here, this hole. When you're on your next row, after you've done one row of double crochets, you're going to go into the top of the double crochet. This is the double crochet. This is the top of it. That's going to be the hole that you're going to use. We're going to do 3 rows. This is the first row. We're going to do 2 more rows of double crochet. This one, and come back one more time. The next row, the third row, will be just exactly like this one. So we're going to do another double crochet, cross over, go into, see, here is the double crochet right here. Go into the top hole, grab your material. You've got 3 pieces on there. Cross over, pull the first 2 off, cross over, and pull the second 2 off. Now, see this knot right here? It's kind of hidden, and it's hidden well. But if somehow it gets out here or over here somewhere, sometimes I'll take it back out a stitch or 2 and try to rearrange it a little bit to hide it a little bit. It's not always possible, but you can, make allowances to try to hide it here and there. So I'm going to do one more to show you. Cross over. Go into, see, this is the double crochet. Going to go into that hole, that one right there. Go into that hole, cross over. You've got 3 pieces on there, cross over, pull them both off, cross over. So this is now starting your second row of double crochets. Okay? So you're going to do the same thing when you finish down here. You're going to do the exact same thing, flip it over, and do the same thing. Now we're going to show you, like we've already completed 3 rows of double crochets, and what you're going to do to go back to the single crochet. But before I do that, I'm going to show you the pattern of the rug so you've got a better visual of where we're going with this. Let me see, where's the beginning of this rug? Okay, so this is the beginning and the bottom of where I started. So we started with 2 single crochets, then we were just working on the double crochets. This is 3 rows of double crochet right here. Okay? And now I'm going to show you, we're going to go back to single crochets. So what this rug is consistent of is 7 rows. You've got 4 rows of single crochet sections, each one having 2 rows. I'm going to say that again because that might be confusing. We have 7 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? The in-between rows, the smaller ones, are single crochets, and there's 2 rows of each single crochet. As you can see, this is what I've done here. Okay? There's 3 sections of double crochet. 1, 2, 3. Double crochet. Okay? And there's 3 rows of double crochet in this. You could continue on and make this much bigger using the same pattern. This is just gives you a guideline, gives yourself an eye of what to do as far as how it will look. I'm going to show you something here. I didn't have enough red. Okay? I wanted to do it in red, white, and blue. When you're working with sheets, you have a limited amount of colors. So you're going to have to make some adjustments on that to try to decide what's my scheme. I went and used a couple rows of white because I didn't have a lot of white, and I also used a smaller inch, it was like an inch and a quarter. It was something I'd already made that I had in the past, and it wasn't as wide. But I figured it's really just an accent. It didn't need to be as wide, so this is a little lower if you look closely. But this is what you can do. You can think, hey, how can I still get this incorporated? I had more red than blue, so I decided the blue would go here. Now, if I had my druthers, it would all be a lot more blue and just a little bit of red because I like blue and white. But you have to work with it. So this is what I came up with, and this gives you an idea of where you're going. Now let me show you. We're going to go on and show you how to do the single crochet, add that, but let me show you this one. What I'm planning for this rug, this is a gorgeous rug. I've had this material a long time. I'm going to use this color right here, this color, as all the single crochets. Here, 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 and here is all going to be one color, this color. I'm going to use this color where I did the blues. And then I'm doing this where I did the red. Okay? But instead of having three colors that are done this way, I could then use this bottom color repeatedly. And so I'm doing that. I've also, in my crazy little mind, I really like these colors, so I've kind of figured out how I'm going to do my next rug. It's going to be these same colors, but in a different sequence, so I can still get through the next rug. So as you work through things, you can use a little bit more of your brain to figure out some of those things. I try to give you some clues because when I teach in class, I get a lot of questions, and I assume certain things that I shouldn't. So if I'm giving you too much information and think I already know that, I'm sorry. But at the same time, there's a lot of people that maybe are just getting started, and I want them to have all the information available to them. So thank you for your patience. Okay, so we're going to go on, and I'm going to show you how we're finishing up this last double crochet. There's 3 rows of double crochet, how I'm going to finish up this last little bit, and how we're going to transition back over to the color that I'm going to do 2 rows of single crochet, just so you can see how I do that. Alright, so here is the second to the last stitch. Here is that stitch that I talked about on the other one. We're going to go right in there, okay, and we're going to do the last double crochet. Now this is only a guide because we're going to take this back out. We're going to do the same thing we did on the other one. We're going to add a color. We're going to change a color about a ½ inch, cut it off. You're going to then take this out, back 1 stitch, so you have enough leeway. You're going to be adding the color. This, I would have probably made this material a little thicker, but because it's only the 2 rows of single crochet and I don't have a lot of it, I've made some of it a little thinner so I can get through the rugs. You're going to have to make these adjustments too. In order to add it, you do not want to make sure that the ball is not all one piece. You're going to do 4 or 5 strips, that's about what that is, together, and then add it to your ball. Here's your 2 ends. Be careful. If you've seen my other videos, I usually stick one in my shirt so I don't lose it. You think you're not going to lose it? You'll lose it if you're not really careful. If you don't, you're better than I am, that's for sure. Okay, so you're going to cross over with the one that's added on the rug, fold it over. We're going to put a little snip in there, and we're going to be adding the next color. This is the color that's already attached to the rug. This is the color, both ends, that you're adding to it. This is the no-sew method. You're going to lay that on top so the slits are like this, and you're going to take it from the bottom. I do this in a simpler form when you see it on my other videos. You push that through, both of them, and you're going to pull this. Pull this all the way through. If you want a slower version of this, you can go to I have a whole playlist on sheet yarn, and it shows several videos on sheet yarn, and that'll help you. So you pull it all the way through, and Mr. Cameraman, I need you to come right in here because I don't know if last time they get as good of a shot as I would have liked, and that was my fault. So you're going to pull this, and this one did really nice. Didn't barely show at all. Sometimes it's not quite so nice. So there's your added color. We're going to do this last double crochet that we had pulled out. Cross over. Going to go into that hole. Okay. Now because we're going to a single crochet and not a double crochet, we're only going to do one chain stitch. So you do a chain stitch, you cross over and pull it off. And again, then you flip it because you're working right to left. Okay. Now let me give you a little clue on this. In order to have these look the way I think they need to look, you can change my pattern and that's no problem at all, but I have found if you stay even with even numbers, when you're flipping back and forth, you don't get the dimension that I'm going for and that I think looks better. So that's why I chose 2 and 3, 2 and 3. If you want to do this or change it up or make your sections wider, you can do that, but I would suggest you do it 2 and 5 or 2 and 7 or 4 and 3 or something like that. You need to do something that is going to have those two numbers together or going to be odd numbers. That's going to give you your best look. I made several rugs and I didn't like them in the even form. So you can do it in the even form, but I thought this looked better. So that's just a little pointer if you want to adapt it yourself, and I hope you will. Make it your own. This is just a guide. Okay, so here we go. We did that one chain stitch, and now this is where we're going to go in. The chain stitches, after we do the chain stitches, we're going to do 2 rows of single crochet. This is where you go in, right here. Go in, grab your material, and pull it off. This goes lickety-split. Here's your hole. Go in, grab your material, and pull it off. Do just a couple more, then we'll show you how to finish this rug. I'm going to show you something that on the corner that I think is important that I figured out after doing a couple of these rugs. So here you go. You're going to do 2 rows of this and continue on. 2 rows, then you're going to transition back to double crochets, 3 rows, and you're going to do one final single crochet, 2 rows, and that'll be completed. So let me show you. We're just going to go ahead and finish this rug, even though it's not finished, but this end is. So I'm going to show you how I did this, and I thought it looked quite a bit better. If you see, this is where we started. Okay, and as you see, this kind of doesn't, this corner, it kind of almost falls off, and I'm not loving that. So in order to do this, I decided, working with it a little bit, and you know, you got a lot of smart people out there, you got a lot of great ideas. You don't have to do it this way. However, Mr. Cameraman, this is how I found to make it look better. So you're going to put your tapestry needle or your sheet yarn. Yarn needle, that's what we call it. Going to thread it through. Sorry. And instead of doing it and feeding it down that, see how that would look if you pulled it that way? Now you're just going to make that corner worse. So what you're going to want to do is make sure that you pull it in and you're going to feed it in this way and hide it. There's a couple different ways, and I kind of go back and forth how I like to do it. So you kind of just have to work with it. Now see how that makes it quite a bit better. It brings it to a point. Don't pull it too hard or look at it's going to be in like that. Just give it a little bit. Okay, and you're just going to feed it through. Now one of the things I like to do, and I'm going to show you this way, you can do it this way or you can do it the other way, is I kind of feed it through this end, kind of like this. So it's almost, well, see, this is good that you're seeing the realistic. Some of you think that I'm the master or something of this, and I'm not. I've just got more experience than you do. That's all I have. So And see how that kind of just snakes in there? You can do it like that. That's one way to do it, and do it all the way along. See how nice that is? Or you can go back down into this area. The trick is make it long enough and far enough into your rug. Okay, don't pull too tight, but giving it a little snugger pull on it. See, this is a little tighter, so in this particular rug, this area, I think this is best because it's a little snugger. Okay, so you're going to feed it through. You do this on the other end when you complete it as well. This is just a beautiful colored rug. I'm just tickled with it. Sometimes you make rugs and you go, not so much. But this one I really like. Maybe it's just colors that I really like. They're fun and happy. Okay, so what you do, you find a place and you go a decent amount that you think it's secure. Then what you're going to do, Mr. Cameron, can you please come in? Thank you. You're going to pull it just a little bit farther, a little tighter. Get your scissors in close. Snip it off. And see, it's there, but watch. Now it's not. Okay? So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was helpful. And I look forward to showing you other videos. And please subscribe if you haven't. Thank you.